there I was, on the streets of Santa Monica Promenade, just me and my keyboard. Once a world touring pianist, now merely a street musician, playing for tips. Perhaps just a half step away from being homeless. My worst day, I netted a total of $14. It was 2009. The recession essentially wiped out all of my regular piano gigs. And what's worse, I wasn't even prepared. It was just 6 months prior that I was living large. Just back from Japan on a world tour with my band. I was playing 4 nights a week at the Hilton. The Beverly Hilton. Not good. I was just awarded Instrumentalist of the Year by LA Music Awards. And if that's not enough, on 8/8/08, I married the love of my life. I was on top of the world. All I could think, yes, what could possibly go wrong? Fellow captivators and friends, I'm here tonight to remind you that life is a symphony, and we're each playing our own instruments in the grand symphony of life. And life throws us high notes and low notes and bright chords and dark chords and sometimes scary chords. Ha ha ha, you get the idea. So as we meander through the melodies and the harmonies of our lives, the question I have for you, are you in tune? Are you playing in tune with others? Are you struggling with the notes you are given? Or are you finding new ways to harmonize with them? Looking back on my life, you could say I was destined to be a professional pianist. I mean, after all, I had the big three going for me. I had excellent teachers, I was pretty talented, and I practiced my tail off. Now, as great as that sounds, it wasn't pretty at home. I was raised by a single mom on welfare, and she was mentally ill, which meant my home life was constantly filled with uncertainty, chaos, and abuse. I was in and out of group homes often, even in juvenile hall once. It's a miracle I survived my childhood, but what really saved my life was music. The piano was my escape, my way of bringing some harmony to the disharmony in my life, at least just for a little while. And I stuck with the piano. I went on, I graduated high school and college, and I got a degree in music composition. Moved to Los Angeles, and soon enough got my first regular gig at Nordstrom. Gotta start somewhere. From there, I continued to work on myself. Did personal growth courses, right? I learned to forgive my mother for the abuse. She was doing the best she could. I also learned to step out of the victim state that she taught me and step in to a new life. I was beginning to compose myself. Amazing new friends started to show up, including my wife. We partied, we celebrated, we went to Burning Man. I was certainly enjoying the ride. And with the piano as my compass, I was happy. I felt alive. I felt on purpose. I felt unstoppable. And I got a little complacent, as if nothing could stop me, until it did. 6 months into the recession, I had to ask myself, an important question. Is the world out of tune? No. Deeper. Am I out of tune? You see, everything in life is vibrating. Our thoughts, our words, our actions, everything down to the smallest particle. And our vibration that we put out in the universe is what we attract back, right? So, what if we could hear our thoughts? What would the music of our thoughts sound like? For example, what would you be thinking? What would be the melody of your thoughts if you had a tough time? If you would say, woe is me. Why does this always happen? Or, what a horrible person. How could he do this to me? I'm going to get revenge. How about, what is this challenge? How am I supposed to grow from it? What do I need to let go of to become more of my authentic self? You hear the difference? You see, I was putting out a vibration of complacency, and the universe was responding accordingly. And I was getting caught up in extra emotions of anger and regret and pride. And at some point, I just had enough. There was a moment with my wife. I found clarity. After all, we were in this together now. She challenged me to look within, to take responsibility, to really take responsibility for my vibration, my notes, not the notes outside I couldn't control. And so I did. I looked within. I tuned to my heart. And there was nothing left to do but play. And I played with passion. I played with fire. A street musician? For now. But I had something to say. The crowds gathered. They cheered. I was putting smiles on people's faces. And that's what I focused on. And then somebody heard me. And they helped me get a gig over at the Westfield Topanga Mall. And then another door opened. And another door opened. And before you know it, I was back to 8 to 10 gigs a week. I was coming out of the ashes. A crescendo of my symphony. I was a phoenix. And it was my time to rise again. I'm a performer. I do it naturally. It's fun. But like everyone, I also have bad days. Days when I feel like no one's listening, no one's clapping, no one's tipping. I feel invisible. You know those days? Sometimes I don't even feel like playing. Well, that's blasphemy. We all have those days. But you know what I do in those moments? I look within. I tune to my heart. I focus on not what I'm lacking, but what I have. And that's the vibration of gratitude. The highest vibration available to us in our hearts. And when I do that, all of a sudden, I get a vibration, an intuition to play the next song. And it happens to be the next song someone was about to request. Yeah, that happens all the time. And then the 20s start rolling in again. Sometimes ones, but I'll take it. What I want to do right now, you guys, let's tune in together, shall we? I want everyone to take a deep breath together. And release. I want you to close your eyes gently, just for a moment. I want you to think of something or someone you're grateful for. It could be a special person or experience. Think of it now. As you let it fill your body, I want you to gradually start to open your eyes. When we tune to our hearts, opportunities appear. Tuning to your heart also means tuning out distractions. so we can tune in to our greatest potential. And you can't tune anyone else. You can tune them out, but you can't tune other people. You can only tune yourselves. And once you decide to tune yourself, all of a sudden, the world sounds a little more in tune. So I want you to remember, when we tune to our hearts, not only do we bring more harmony to our lives, but more joy to the world. Joy to you and me.
So you may have guessed that we did not teach Jeremy to play piano, and we were not the ones who gave him the overdose of growth hormone. But Club Captivate has done something for you, I assume.
Oh, man.
Could you tell them something it's done?
Absolutely. Club Captivate and Shanti and the whole team have really helped. I really feel like I've hit another level I never had any idea I could begin. First I joined Toastmasters thinking if I could just improve my speaking to half as good as playing, I'd have something going. And before I knew it, I was on fire. And what I wanted to do first was find my voice outside of music, because I was always that guy that was the piano player. And so I went on a whole journey exploring myself. It was such an opportunity. I spoke about, I'm a tall guy, I talked about being tall. And Shanti helped me with my first speech too, and I was competing in some of the contests. And then I talked about when I became a dad, I talked about being conscious and being present. Tom Murray, you've helped me too. There's a lot of people here that have helped me with my growth. And finally, the full circle for me was coming. It turns out my brand happens to be music after all. And I've been really working hard with Captivate to define that and to help people tune to their hearts. So I've come full circle and feel like I've matured into a new level. And that's what Club Captivate has done for me.
Awesome. Thanks.